Tim, you ready to go?
Yeah, Chad, all ready to go for this week preview of USF. I'm ready to go. Put me in, Coach.
Brief practice today. Did you hit it hard out there?
So far, yeah, a little sore. It was a little bit tougher than I thought it was going to be. I haven't really done anything for the last 50 years. But I feel good. I feel like the team's in good shape. I feel like we could do something good tomorrow, or Saturday.
All right.
Saturday. I'm a little pumped up right now.
You are fired up. You need to take a deep breath, give it a little woo-saw in there. And, USF, a talented team. We talked about that with Coach Tuberville, but they've really struggled getting off the field. They've struggled on third down on both sides of the football. And if Cincinnati can go down there and maintain their focus and be consistent, this is a team they should beat, but it's a road game, and those haven't exactly been easy yet.
Yeah, I've predicted that the Bearcats will win every game so far by a large margin, and the two road games have been the real stumbling block, and this one's going to be no different, I think. I think at some point, unless you're a total idiot, you have to change your philosophy, and I'm changing mine. I think it's going to be a dogfight down there, just because the Bearcats haven't played very well on the road, and this team has some talent. I think we talked to Coach Tuberville, and I agree with them. Marcus Shaw, their running back, I think is the best running back Cincinnati will see the entire year. They've got a new quarterback there, and that's, to me, is what, if they can get some pressure on him, he's going to make some mistakes. I got done watching the Miami game, and he made a number of big errors in that game.
They're tough to figure out. For this conference, really, going forward, especially when Louisville and Rutgers leave, they have to step up. I mean, we're seeing it from Central Florida, but South Florida has to become a consistent contender in this league, or you're kind of treading up water trying to find teams that are going to be challengers for this conference.
Well, they would certainly be in an area where you think they would be pretty competitive. Right. Everybody else is, but I wouldn't put the onus just on them.
Others need to step up. But I mean, people don't realize this. They're one of the largest enrollment schools in the country. It's a huge place. They're in a great hotbed for football. They've had a lot of talent. Hell, a couple years, 5-6 years ago, they were rated number 2 in the country. But this program just has never seemed to be able to get any footing. And Coach Taggart going in there, a lot of promise, but they're struggling under him.
Yeah, and it's a new coach, and he's having to coach the players that are left over from Skip Holt's era, and he didn't have a quarterback. The kid they've got right now, Stephen Bench, came from Penn State, and they have some talent. The kid, I think his name's Aaron Lynch, the defensive end, was a Parade All-American at Notre Dame. One of their tight ends, McFarland, came from Florida. So they've got some guys, and they've got Andre Davis, who was the other wideout at Thomas Jefferson, obviously Chris Moore. So they've got some guys that can make some plays, but so far it just hasn't materialized for them this year.
You talked about, you watched the Miami game. Coach Tuberville talked about it. They can't get the defense off the field. Teams are just churning out drives on them. They're not prone to the big play because they've got some athletic ability in the back end, but for this offense, the problem with Cincinnati is they've shot themselves in the foot. Sustaining a long drive has been an issue, especially on the road.
Yeah, Cincinnati hasn't made any big plays either, and that's been part of the problem for them. They had the one big opportunity. We moved down here so we wouldn't have any cars come by. And then they got a joyriding down through here.
Drove right next to the camera, too. She made sure her presence was felt.
But
probably that thing you got on your head.
Yeah, I think I look good in this. I fit right in on a college campus, don't I? But I think Cincinnati has to make the big play. The other day, if Brendan Kay gets the ball a little sooner, McKay was wide open down here, maybe that changes the game around. But I did watch the first half, and I'm telling you, Miami, Florida could have scored 50 points on USF. I think it was 35-7 at the half, and Miami fumbled twice inside the 5 and missed a field goal from point-blank range right before the half. So they really got it handed to them. And actually, I think USF scored 21 points, but they came out and drove right down the field at the beginning of the game. And Shaw was really good. But then after that, he didn't score another touchdown until the defense got a little interception. Defensive lineman, he took it in for a pick 6. So I don't know what to expect from them. But if we judge it on how Cincinnati did at Illinois, how Cincinnati did at Miami, you got to think it's going to be a tough game.
Yeah, and coming off a bye week for the first time under Coach Tuberville as well. And given the circumstances and the events of the past couple weeks, I was kind of thinking about it last night when getting ready for this thing, and you wonder if it's almost going to be a little bit like what UCLA experienced. They had a player pass away tragically. They came out in that game and really were sluggish out of the gate. I think they got down 21-0.
Yeah, it was right around that.
And then they scored 50 points in a row or whatever. It seemed like they finally gathered themselves. It's just a tough situation for all involved, and it seems like the guys have been handling it well, but you don't know until you're out there. until the action starts exactly how you're going to compensate for going through what they've been through the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, it is. It's uncharted waters for the players, certainly for us. I mean, I don't remember any situation even remotely like this in the past. So you would think there would be maybe added motivation to play well, but I really don't know. I mean, where's their minds? And I will say this: I think the intensity this week has been a little lacking. I thought today it was, and you hope from day to day it changes, but I didn't think this was one of the more intense practices that I've seen over the course of the year.
And got tomorrow to get that straightened out, and then they hit the road for Tampa, and what'll be a lifeless stadium most likely. I mean, you can't imagine they're playing in an NFL stadium. They're 0-4, I think. There's not going to be a lot of people there. It's going to be flat. You're going to have to provide your own intensity and motivation, because even as an opponent, there's not going to be anything there from their fan base you wouldn't expect to fire them up.
That's why you have to go in there and put some points on the board fast.
Yeah.
And the Bearcats weren't able to do that at Miami, allowed them to hang in. And if you let this team do the same thing, you just never know what's going to happen. A fluke play here or there, and all of a sudden you lose.
So what do you think?
I'm going to continue to pick Cincinnati, but I'm going to say it's going to be much closer than we think, or than a lot of people think. Is the line like 20? Where's Bix when I need it?
Yeah.
21, 24 points?
He's cooking up the books right now and trying to figure it out for Bix's picks, but it's right around there, which I'd have a tough time. I'd have a tough time laying that. Yeah.
I'd take the points.
If it was 14,
yeah,
I might be inclined if I was the gambling type, but at 20 plus points on the road, the way that this team is really, more than anything, struggled in the first half to find its identity, to be able to sustain drives. On the road. To sustain drives, to be able to get off the field on third down defensively and offensively, to be able to convert third downs, move the chains, and keep drives alive. That's been, if you look at it, the biggest area of concern, I think. And hopefully with the bye week, they've had a chance to work some things out. I know Coach Tuberville talked about they've been holding some things back, and he had said that all the way back through the start of the season, that they weren't going to play their whole hand in the non-conference portion. Well,
and they have held back quite a bit.
Now you're in the conference portion. It's time to put the cards on the table.
Yeah, you're going to see some changes, I think, and that may be. I think that's big. I think that's good. I think they have to generate some excitement, maybe make some big plays. Because they've been pretty vanilla up to this point, and it's worked for the most part. But I'm looking forward to Saturday's game and seeing some of the changes.
Are you going, or are you ESPN3 in it?
Yeah, that's been the only good thing about it. I've been to every game. I won't be at this one. They're not traveling with me this week. But I have found out how you get ESPN on your TV, which is terrific.
Thanks, Tim. Chad Brendel, Tim Adams, Bearcat Journal. Good luck to the Bearcats on Saturday night in Tampa.